Alright, what is going on, people of the internet, and welcome back to another episode of Ark Survival Evolved Max Speed, and this time we're taking a look at the Wyvern. More specifically, we're going to be looking at the Fire Wyvern. There are two other kinds, I believe. I might be wrong here, but from what I saw, there was the Poison Wyvern, the Lightning Wyvern, and the Fire Wyvern. So I've gone ahead and picked the Fire Wyvern here, and it's actually really cool. I think this is one of my favorite creatures in Ark. Of course, it is part of the ScorchedEarth DLC, which, if you haven't already seen my video as to why Ark released it and why we shouldn't be judging them as harshly as a lot of the community is currently doing, you should probably check that out, because there is a good reason why they released this DLC, and it's to be involving with a $40 million lawsuit that they were on the receiving end of. But basically, I've got a lot of stuff to talk about in this video aside from the Wyvern. I figured I might as well just kind of add it as a side note, because if I made it into its own video, not everybody would see it, and it is important information to try and get out to the viewers here. So I'm going to be doing that a little bit. I'm going to be referencing back to the Wyvern as much as I can to make sure that I get the crucial elements of the video underway. But there's some other stuff to talk about here, so I'll be trying to transition between the two of those. Well, so first off, the Wyvern it's really cool, actually. It's definitely strong. I mean, there's not a whole heck of a lot out here to test it on to see how strong it is per se, but it has over 8,000 health standard when spawned in at level 225. You can't actually tame the Wyvern. You have to hatch it from an egg and then raise it from that state. So keep in mind, you might not necessarily be getting the taming bonus now that I think about it. Yeah, maybe not, actually. No. If I remember how breeding works in Ark, at least for dinosaurs, you can get the same level as what the parents tamed out to be. So I would imagine Wyvern's probably going to be harder to get higher levels of, but they are very cool. So yeah, I'm just going to talk a little bit about what I wanted to be discussing in this video aside from the Wyvern, which is the fact that, I don't know if this was a mistake, but I made a mistake in my opinion. Not a mistake. Definitely not a mistake. It's conflicting, because right now I'm running on a GTX 970, and it's fantastic. I love this graphics card. It's really good, but the problem with it is if you try to record Ark gameplay, you're going to have some problems with frames. And of course, you can use different types of recording software. Fraps is the best one, in my opinion, for quality. But you get your frame rate cut in half, which is not a good thing when you're recording something like Ark, where you are only getting 35 FPS to begin with. And I'm playing every one of my games on my monitor, which is 1080p, so it is full HD. It's not anything above that. And I think it's effective for YouTube, because that's what YouTube allows you to do, and that's what most monitors have. I mean, you can do 4K on YouTube, but not a lot of people have 4K monitors, so what's the point, really? I might as well just do 1080p. So, I've decided, and this is where the mistake comes into play, to order a GTX 1080 superclocked. And it wasn't cheap. It really wasn't. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because I want to make an Ark ScorchedEarth gameplay series kind of thing. But as you can see, there's a lot of bad screen tearing, and that is originating from my 970. And I can only get 35 frames per second on medium to high, and I want to be able to run this game on ultra and 1080p, getting 60 frames per second, and a GTX 1080 will probably allow me to do that. So I have gone ahead and ordered one of those, and it should be here soon, and we'll see what that leads out to. Now, the meat of this is that I want to make a server, and it's not going to be like a Pooping Evolved server type thing. It's not going to be what Anthomnia Media Lock. I actually was on that server, but I was having some issues with my game, so I never really got to join them and play with them. But it's not going to be something like that where it's YouTubers. I kind of want to create it to be kind of, if anybody's familiar with Armor 3 Life, role-playing kind of thing, it's kind of like that, but not as serious. Like, it's not that you can't break the Matrix, is what they call it in Armor 3 Life. It's hard to explain really what it is, but yeah, I'm going to actually quickly talk about the Wyvern here. Holy crap, this thing is fast, and I'm not sure it's physically possible for anything to beat its wings that quickly. Aside from insects, I'm sure hummingbirds and bees and stuff do that. But in Ark, I don't believe the dinosaurs can go this quickly. I think this might be one of the fastest creatures in the game, aside from maybe the water creatures who are notoriously fast. But the server that I wanted to create would be... Well, I'm still actually kind of thinking about how I want to go about doing that. I have an idea. And it's going to be that people are broken up into tribes, and the tribes kind of have 4 states that they can be in with one another. It's going to be PvP, but at the same time, I don't want the PvP to be the core element. I want it to be a diplomatic relationship with the other tribes, kind of modeling it after early civilizations with humans, like Rome and barbarians and stuff like that. And I think that ScorchedEarth is really good for that. So it's probably going to be primitive server, not allowing for, future tech and stuff like that. But it's going to be that the tribes can kind of have 4 different states between the other ones. So there's obviously peace, which is what everybody starts out on, and then maybe after some amount of time that gets dissolved and everybody becomes neutral. When you're neutral with another tribe, that would probably mean that you can't like declare a full-on war or raid them, but you can basically say kidnap one of their members if you see them on their own, but you can't. There's no random deathmatch, RDM, which is the term that people use for it in these role-playing type servers. There's no RDM, so you can't just run up to somebody and kill them unless the 2 tribes that these people belong to are officially at war, and you can confirm that they are at war, because breaking this rule could result in temp banning from the server or full banning from the server if it's a greater offense, or if it's numerous times that this has happened. And there's really a lot I have to think about. I was actually staying up with my friend until about 3:30 in the morning because he plays Arma 3 Life quite a bit, and he was giving me some useful tips, and I took a couple pages of notes for how the server would work. And it is an ambitious project, but if we can pull it off, that would be amazing. But we're going to need a lot of help, which is where I have to ask if anybody here, very unlikely, but if anybody here has experience in running a server or kind of developing mod tools, if they could send an email to myself or my friend. I'll try and leave our email in the description of this video. And if you would be willing to help us out and getting some admin mod server management type things going on with us, it would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, the Wyvern is really cool. I really, really like it. I'm really hoping I can get one of these if we do start the server up itself. And yeah, I'm going to put out a full video about the server and what I see, because I don't have my vision fully elaborated right now. I have a lot that I can think about for doing with the server, and I have a rough idea of what it's going to go like, and I tried to explain it as quickly as possible. I know that I could probably have been a little bit better with my explanation, but if you have questions, feel free to leave a comment about it. I will get to every single comment that I can. And yeah, I really like this Wyvern. It's so cool, and it's so fast. Like, already it's really fast, but once you get max speed on it, it's so fast, and it has so much stamina that it's, without a doubt, this would be the mount. This would be the end game mount of a lot of people, in my opinion, unless there are better things than ScorchedEarth, because I really don't know a whole lot about this DLC. So please do leave a comment telling me all about ScorchedEarth, and if you got any questions for the server or recommendations for how the PvP system should work, that would be greatly appreciated. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace! And something that's really cool about the Allosaurus is it gets a boost to its attack when it's around other creatures. It gets other Allosaurus in a pack, I should say, probably to do with friendly creatures. So if you have a bunch of tamed Allosauruses and you take them all out, it benefits all of them. Now, if you've been around my channel for any amount of time, you've probably already noticed that I am very critical of Ark. I don't like the way that the development for this game has gone. They haven't done a lot of optimizing. We're still waiting for DX12. Frame rate is utter trash. The balancing of this game is terrible. And it's probably going to become as a bit of a surprise that I'm actually on the side of Ark.